Ladies and gentlemen, Tottenham fans and long-suffering neutrals, welcome to the bittersweet end of an era. We're here to talk about a man who was more than just a player. He was a walking, talking embodiment of an entire football club. I'm talking, of course, about Son Heung-min. For 10 years, Son Heung-min was Tottenham. Tottenham was Son Heung-min. And like all great romances, this one ended in a city known for its beautiful architecture, passionate culture, and a whole lot of alcohol. Bilbao. That's right. The single moment that justified a decade of effort, loyalty and tears was lifting the Europa League trophy. It's the perfect ending, because in a weird way it was the only ending that could make any of it make sense. We're not crying. You're crying. Well, Son was crying. Ange Postecoglou was probably crying. And every Spurs fan was definitely crying. But what did it all mean? Let's dive in. 1. A club embodied, Sonny, the symbol of Spurs. Before that glorious night in Bilbao, nobody understood the unity between Son and Tottenham better than head coach Ange Postecoglou. According to him, Sonny was symbolic of where people saw the club, an outstanding player who was missing that key piece of success. So Ange told the players that winning the Europa League would change perceptions of both Son and the club instantly. And you know what? The players went out and did it for Sonny just as they did for Spurs. There was no longer any distinction between the two. The player and the club had finally merged into one beautiful, slightly tearful entity. This is a profound achievement, an unquestioning love, and frankly a bit weird. As James Maddison so eloquently put it, it's weird to think about Tottenham Hotspur without Son. You can say that again, mate. It's like thinking about peanut butter without jelly, or a Champions League without Son getting knocked out in the final. It just feels wrong. Ange Postecoglou basically told his players, guys, if we win, this one guy will stop crying. Let's do it for Sonny. What a motivational speech. Sonny's journey was Tottenham's journey. So it was a decade of near misses, incredible highs, and a whole lot of what-ifs. That finally ended in a single beautiful trophy. It's not just a player leaving a club, it's a profound emotional severance. The club will never walk alone again, because a piece of it just left for good. When Maddison says, it's weird to think about Tottenham without Son, he's basically saying, I don't know who I'm supposed to give all my cool assists to now. Son's place in history is permanent and unambiguous. He's officially the guy who finally made it worth it. The chosen one, if you will. 2. The Genesis. The unwanted man. The German turning point. The story of Son and Tottenham actually starts not 10 years ago, but 12. Back when he was a young, fast, graceful forward at Hamburg. Spurs' own David Pleat wasn't initially convinced, but Southampton and a certain Mauricio Pochettino were. Son was the perfect fit for Southampton's high-pressing, high-octane football. But alas, he decided it wasn't the right time for the Premier League, and moved to Bayer Leverkusen instead. He said no to Southampton, which is honestly the most Spurs-like thing he could have done at the time. Pochettino, of course, followed him to Tottenham and never lost the idea of how well he aligned with his principles. In February 2015, Son had a game against Wolfsburg where he scored a hat-trick in a 5-4 loss. Spurs saw enough, and after a little drama with his manager, a little window of opportunity opened up. On August 28, 2015, Son joined Tottenham for £22 million. And just like that, the most beautiful love story in modern football, full of twists, turns, and near breakups, had officially begun. Son's career trajectory is like a rom-com. The guy turns down a first date Southampton, but fate brings them back together later on with his soulmate Spurs. Spurs' scouting feedback wasn't just about his goals, it was about his intangible qualities like his two-footedness and unique capacity to surprise opponents. Basically, he was the footballing equivalent of a box of chocolates. You never knew what you were gonna get, but it was always delicious. £22 million for a player of that quality, as Paul Mitchell says, is maybe one of the best investments any of us have ever made in our careers. That's less a transfer fee and more of a winning lottery ticket. On the day he signed, some Spurs staff were frantically Googling his new player's name. That's either a red flag or just a sign that they were very, very excited. His first day at Spurs was remembered by Kevin Wimmer for his constant smiling. You could just feel that he's such an amazing character. Or maybe he was just relieved to be out of Germany. 4. The peak. The perfection. The golden boot. The remarkable thing about Son's peak is how long it lasted. At least 6 years. And during that time he became one of the best forwards in football. a feat of engineering that was effortlessly smooth and elegant. He had speed, good movement, two-footedness, and a finishing ability that outscored Harry Kane's expected goals. He was so good he radiated a sense of inevitability. As Ange Postecoglou puts it, you know it's a goal before he's even struck it. It's the kind of confidence that only comes from knowing you're just that damn good. His great strength wasn't just the goals he scored but the importance of them, the openers and the winners. The decider against Dortmund, the first official goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the winner against City in a Champions League quarter-final first leg. Best of all was his performance at the Etihad, where he scored a moment of pure Son genius to beat Guardiola's team. It was all of his qualities, clinical, graceful and efficient in a single high-stakes moment. Even after that he kept getting better, sharing the golden boot with Mohamed Salah in his best season of all. A true legend. When he hit top speed, few defenders in the game could keep up. He was basically a human Ferrari on the pitch, but with better brakes. Outscoring Kane on expected goals is like outcooking Gordon Ramsay in a cooking competition. It's a feat of absolute mastery. The sense of inevitability he radiated was probably just him thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna score now. Don't worry about it." What a hero. His performance at the Etihad was so good, he probably made Pep Guardiola write a whole new tactical book just on how to stop him. Sharing the golden boot with Salah is less a shared achievement and more of a "well, at least I didn't have to face him in the final, so I'll take it" moment. 3. The false dawn and the true start. Son's first few weeks at Tottenham were a false dawn. He swept in a corner for his first goal, then scored a beautiful 1-2 with Dele Alli. 3 days later, he scored the winner against Crystal Palace. He looked like the son of the Bundesliga already. But then, he injured his plantar fascia against Manchester City, and his debut season never recovered. It's like when you meet someone perfect and then they immediately break their foot. It's a real mood killer. The big question that season was whether Son was even enjoying it. Some say he had a positive mindset, while others feared his head was dropping. In August 2016, he went to Pochettino's office and told him he wanted to leave for Wolfsburg. He almost gave up, but Pochettino in his special way told Son that he had to stay and fight for his place. This was the moment that truly defined him and his career, because 2 weeks later he started against Stoke City and scored twice. This wasn't the start of his Tottenham career. This was the true start. His debut season was a roller coaster of highs and lows. A bit like watching a Tottenham game, to be honest. Son went from being the next big thing to being benched for Eric Lamela, Dele and Eriksen. A real hero to zero journey. Pochettino told him, "You have to earn your right to play." That's like a parent telling their kid, "You can have ice cream, but you have to finish your vegetables first." It's a tough love that only works for some. He was described as having almost both feet out of the door. I can only imagine him standing there half in his Spurs kit, half in his Wolfsburg kit, waiting for the right moment to make a run for it. He came back from the Olympics and trained so well that Pochettino had to start him. It's the ultimate "I'll show you" moment in football history. 5. The legacy. The person behind the player. The true measure of Son's legacy isn't just about the goals or the trophy. It's about the person. It's about the gifts he gave. Every member of the traveling party in South Korea, from personalized gifts to caps, shorts, and toiletries. It's about the Korean banquet he paid for at the training ground. It's about his mother cooking for Kevin Wimmer and treating him like a son. It's about the little acts of kindness he imparts every day, the videos he records for fans, and the out-of-the-blue messages he sends to check in on old friends. As Postecoglou says, he is exactly as you see him, and you doubt you could find one person to say something negative about him. He's a footballer who's even more impressive as a person. He never hid his emotions, his love for his teammates or his fans. When he scored, he radiated happiness, as if he was the luckiest man in the world. He just wanted everyone to share that luck and that joy. And in the end, that's why his 10-year journey was completed in Bilbao. Because the perfect ending wasn't about a trophy, it was about the perfect person finally getting what he deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, Tottenham fans and long-suffering neutrals, welcome to the bittersweet end of an era. We're here to talk about a man who was more than just a player. He was a walking, talking embodiment of an entire football club. I'm talking, of course, about Son Heung-min. For 10 years, Son Heung-min was Tottenham. Tottenham was Son Heung-min. And like all great romances, this one ended in a city known for its beautiful architecture, passionate culture, and a whole lot of alcohol. Bilbao. That's right. The single moment that justified a decade of effort, loyalty and tears was lifting the Europa League trophy. It's the perfect ending, because in a weird way it was the only ending that could make any of it make sense. We're not crying, you're crying. Well, Son was crying, Ange Postecoglou was probably crying, and every Spurs fan was definitely crying. But what did it all mean? Let's dive in.